Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. If you are new here, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and if you are not new here, welcome back. So today's video is actually about this alopecia updo cover-up style that I was able to achieve for my client. So if you want to see how I achieved this, just keep on watching. This is what we started out with. My client was bald up top and across the front. She also was pretty sparse in the nape area. Usually she leaves the style up to me, so initially I came in with the intention of giving her some tribal braids. I was thinking 2 to 3 layers and we could get some pretty good coverage, but she actually ended up saying that she gets really hot and she wanted some type of updo. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit intimidated and very nervous when she asked for an updo because there was not enough at the top or in the front or anything to go upward. So I was trying to figure out for about 10 to 15 minutes what I could do. I did consider doing a mohawk style, but we did not have any curly hair to put at the top. She didn't bring any hair with her, so it just left me with the braiding hair that she requested. And so I started to search the internet and try to find any alopecia updos that I could, and I had a really hard time finding any alopecia updos. However, I did see a picture on YouTube Shorts, and it had like a crisscross front. There was like a braid at the top. I will insert a picture toward the end of this video to show you the reference of what gave me this idea. However, I showed it to her and I told her we could adopt the crisscross front so that we could get plenty of coverage and I could just kind of freestyle the top and do my thing. So I wanted you guys to see me braiding. What I did notice is a lot of alopecia videos that you see on the internet, they don't give you a lot of tips and tricks and actually teach you what to do. So these are just some of the things that I picked up on. I slowed down certain parts of the video because most of this was filmed in a time lapse, but there are some clips that are pretty much like true to speed, where you can kind of see some of the things that I'm doing to achieve this. One of the tips that I will give is you're going to need needle and thread. I'm doing her blonde braids. She only likes to wear blonde braiding hair, and so I had to find some blonde thread. But the best results, you want to try to see if they're comfortable with getting braiding hair that is the color of their natural hair, so you can really literally not tell that the client has any alopecia going on. Another trick and tip that I learned is you have to make sure that the braids are really close together. So it'll require you to do very small parts with more braiding hair. And you're going to keep feeding in the hair and braiding over the scalp as if it's hair right there, even when it's not. And as you can see, I just, after every braid, I grab my needle and thread and connect the previous braid to the braid that I'm currently finishing, and that just kind of helps to keep them close together, help me to understand and guide me on the pattern that I'm doing and everything else. You'll also need your client to help you by holding certain pieces of the braids and things like that, because alopecia hair, even the areas where they have hair, it can be really soft and it can kind of not be thin but hard to work with at times. It's easy to pull out, if that makes sense. Not hard to work with, but it's easy to pull out, and so you have to make sure that your client is holding the beginning of the braid and moving along as you need her to, in order to help secure that braid. As you can see, my client is moving around with me and she's holding it down to make sure there's no gapping and spacing. My client understood the assignment because this is not her first cover up by me. This is actually her third, and we're getting better and better each time at working together and at achieving the results in which she is looking for. Another thing that I recommend is just making sure you're comfortable, your client is comfortable with being filmed. My client is comfortable being filmed. I try to hide her face as much as I can. In a couple clips, it did show pretty much a lot, but I'm pretty confident that since you guys don't know her at all, you probably would not recognize her if you saw her anyway. But This is one of the clips that I did in real time, just so you can see how long it takes me on each braid and how much hair I have to feed in. But I still had to speed it up just a little bit because I didn't want to draw this out. And I wanted you guys to be able to, you know, see the style, see the results and everything. But as you can see, I'm taking small pieces of hair and I'm feeding it in over and over and over to make the braid bigger and bigger as I go. The part I only had like a tiny bit of hair, and it is going to be time consuming making the braids close together because of how small the parts are, but it's going to be essential when doing an alopecia cover up if you do want to get good coverage, because the mistake that I made the first couple times, I have a really sleek braiding style. I don't like big bulky braids. In the first couple times that I did her cover up, I did not do really small parts and bigger braids to make sure that they were close together. While the style still turned out good, it was a little bit spacey toward the top when it didn't have to be. So I'm learning as I go, but I just kind of wanted to give those tips and tricks to you all because, like I said, when you find alopecia cover-ups, most people are not trying to give you tips and tricks. They're not trying to teach you or really give you the game. They're just letting you watch a little bit. And I understand it. Some people teach you how to do it, so they want to be able to make money off showing you and things like that. I don't mind sharing a few things because this is one of those things where it's going to take time to learn, and the sooner you know what to do, the better your results can start being up front, if that makes sense. But as you can see, I'm going in again and I'm just sewing that curve, you know, trying to make sure that I keep our braids close together. And I actually had about 2 to 3 different pieces of needle and thread in her head, not just one, so you'll see them hanging all throughout. And I had finished that front area and I moved on to the back and started trying to close up that last area. It did get a little complicated in there, but lucky for me, I'm doing an updo, and I knew I wanted to have curls and everything falling over, so if there was a tiny bit of spacing in the back, that would have been okay. I was able to close it up, most of it. I would say when I got to those last couple of braids, which I did not show, I had an issue with coverage because she had no hair at all right there. But I'm getting ready to insert the reference picture of what I was inspired by. So this is the picture that I found on YouTube Shorts. This was the inspiration, and I just put my own spin on it, and this is how it came out. So as you can see, I have that crisscross front. I gave my client some petals at the top like a petal bun. I rotted her in so that she could have curls falling. I even gave her fishtail braids and wrapped those under. You can't see the fishtail braids very well, but I just thought that I would put my own touch on it, and my client loved the way that this came out. I love the way that this came out. You cannot tell that she has alopecia at all. And if you or someone you know is suffering from alopecia or balding, please refer to my booking site. It's left in the description box. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe.